Aloha, this is Dale Tomei, and on behalf of all of us at the Hawaii Homeownership Center, we acknowledge that this is a difficult time for all of us. We hope you are taking care of yourself, and this recorded session can help you with some action steps to make things better for you. Now, if you have lost your income or you have been furloughed, we encourage you to focus on what you can do and what you have control over. Communication is the key. If you're taking all of the burden of the hardship upon yourself, communicate with your family members, communicate with your employers, keep communication lines open, but definitely communicate. Seek help. There are organizations that are specifically working on adding assistance to help uh, add relief measures to help families going through these difficult times. Have a plan. Again, focusing on what we can control, maybe cutting down our expenses, things that we can work on that help us get through this as well as plan for the future. And bottom line, take care of yourself and your family. If you get ill, that doesn't help yourself moving forward, that doesn't help your family. So definitely take care of yourselves and your family. Understand that you are not alone and there is help available. A good first step might be to call 211, the Aloha United Way. They have a multitude of contacts within the community, and they can help direct you to the appropriate organizations. Even if you don't know what kind of assistance, speaking with someone, explaining your situation, your circumstances, they can help direct you to the appropriate organizations. Communicate with your mortgage servicer. If you're having difficulty paying your mortgage before your payments are late, communicate with them. You can check for contact information from your monthly statement. If you're having difficulty paying your mortgage, also communicate with your homeowners association. Not paying your HOA dues can also put you in jeopardy of foreclosure via your HOA. Communicate with your credit card companies, your auto loan companies. Again, they're all aware that we're going through some difficult times, so they may be able to offer some assistance. Communicate with your internet service provider, your utility companies, your student loan providers. They may all be offering some assistance as families work through this difficult period. Now, with all of that said, beware of scams and predatory lenders. Communicate directly with your creditors. Do not just respond to a solicitation where they left an 800 number, assuming that that is your credit card company. Contact your creditors directly. Going to your statement that you receive monthly to get their contact information, looking at the back of your credit card. Contact them directly. Unfortunately, when families are going through some difficult times and they're desperate, oftentimes predators are looking at ways to take advantage of you. So definitely contact your creditors directly. Do not assume the number that they left was the correct communication line. Examine all of your sources of income and resources. Again, if you have lost your job or you've been furloughed, money's tight at the moment. So check to see if you had any unused vacation pay, uh, sick leave that you can turn into cash. Or maybe if you were laid off, you were offered a severance and you haven't received it yet. Be aware of all of your checking accounts, your savings accounts. Are you expecting a tax refund? Check to see if you're going to get a stimulus check or check the status of a stimulus check if you have not received one. Unemployment. If you're unemployed, check with the unemployment office. If you've been furloughed, also check with the unemployment office. If you're a contract worker, Normally, you wouldn't be eligible, but at this difficult period, you may be eligible for unemployment. So definitely check with the unemployment office. Investments and retirement accounts, because of some law changes, again, based on the circumstances, check with your administrators. You might be able to access some of your retirement or investment accounts without penalty, without tax ramifications, but definitely check with your administrators. Are there unnecessary items that you have at home that can be turned into cash by selling? Maybe you've had a hobby in the past. Um, and again, we're focusing on the dire need for resources. When we're in a better place in the future, you can always replace items. But we're looking to how can we sustain ourselves currently and move through this difficult period. Are there any short-term jobs that you can supplement any lost income, whether it's becoming an Uber driver? Some companies are looking for additional help. Maybe you can deliver food. Again, ultimately looking for how can we supplement any lost income. Check with your family and your social network for support. Trading skills and services. Maybe you have some carpentry skills that you can trade with a neighbor. They help you fix your car. Ask your landlord if your deposit can be used for a rent payment. Again, we're looking at options to sustain us through this difficult period. We want to verify how much cash you have currently, right? Looking at the resources that we currently have and what we can expect in the future. Then we need to analyze our expenses. Are you currently following a budget? Now, the difference between a normal budget and a crisis budget is a crisis budget is really taking care of your basic needs and making them your top priority, such as food, shelter, utilities, maybe transportation as well. But we're really buckling down to the basic needs and focusing on essentials versus non essentials. If you would like assistance, you can always schedule an appointment with a counselor at the Hawaii Home Ownership Center. Remember, these changes are to get us through this difficult period. A critical need, food. We all have to eat. So, can you reduce your grocery bill as well as maybe cooking nutritious meals instead of ordering takeout? You can access local resources such as 211, Aloha United Way, local food bank or food pantry. There are designated grab and go areas where your students can grab meals. You may also want to take a look at, take out food. Depending on your circumstances, if you're single or if you're a couple, ordering out might actually reduce some of your costs. Look at coupons. I know some businesses are offering uh, lower cost meals or discounts. Again, focusing on the essentials versus non essentials. Utilities. Are there any utilities that are critical that you do need versus luxuries? Can you reduce your electric or gas consumption? I know some people will start their dryer and at the halfway point stop, hang the items up, reduce their costs. Maybe you have some appliances that are plugged in that you don't use. Maybe it's not using the air conditioner and changing over to a fan, or maybe opening some windows, adjusting the temperature on your thermostat of your water heater, or putting your water heater on a timer to reduce the amount of time that your thermostat is heating. You can contact the electric company. They may also have some resources and tips on how to lower your costs. Contact your phone company to discuss relief options. Internet service providers are also offering some service windows of 60 days if you have school age children in the household. Contact your cable company. Is there ways that you can reduce your monthly cost or potentially cancel for a couple months. Now, if all of those cuts prevent you, still you don't have enough, and it prevents you from being able to pay your monthly mortgage or rent, definitely contact your loan servicer. Determine if it's a government sponsored entity, such as an FHA loan, a VA loan, or maybe a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac mortgage product. The CARES Act offers you options, but be very clear on what your options are. And if you're not, don't be afraid to ask questions because not only will your decision be important in the now, but also what happens in the future. So definitely ask questions. Also, again, if you're a homeowner and you have an association, contact your homeowners association. Remember, the homeowners association can also foreclose on your property if payments aren't made. If you're a renter, contact your landlord. Again, be upfront, be honest. If you're having some difficulty, you be prepared. You may have to show proof that you have lost income or a reduction of hours. But again, the CARES Act also, if your landlord has a loan using any of these government-sponsored entities, they also follow under some of the guidelines. So again, communication is the key. Now we have a list of resources here. A good first step would be to call 211, Aloha United Way. There's some housing resources available if you need to communicate with an attorney to understand the landlord-tenant code. You can contact DCCA. Um, you can look at coronavirus mortgage relief options through the CFPB guide. Unemployment, again, if you're unemployed, have a reduction in income, you're a contract employed. Communicate with the unemployment office. You may have some relief there. You can check with your local food banks. Now, we do have, and I want to encourage you to visit our resource guide that you can find next to the tab that you found this video. We have a more extensive list of local as well as national resources available. If you want to communicate, you need some help working on your crisis budget, you can communicate with a counselor at the Hawaii Homeownership Center by contacting the Oahu number at 523-9500. That's Oahu 523-9500. And if you're calling from the neighbor islands, the toll-free number is 877-523-9503. Be safe, be smart, take care of one another, and aloha.